Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome. Happy Eclipse Day. We've got some Star Wars Unlimited to play today. Boba Green Mirror. Vika and Hippo, two very, very good players. Two of the winningest players in the old Destiny League, which this one was based on. And now they're playing Unlimited. Boom. Okay. So yeah, this is our last game of the top 16. Top 8. There's gonna be one game tomorrow that I'm gonna get between Sip and Codes. I don't know when. I don't think any of the other games are scheduled yet, but it's exciting. We got so we're gonna Boba versus Grand Inquisitor. The winner of this is gonna have to play another Boba Mirror against Breaker. We've got Han versus Chirrut, and we've got Han versus Krennic. So two Hans. Very, very interesting. So let's go and take a look at the list while we wait for the players to get here. They're just getting a couple last few things set up. So this is Vika's list, and it is like, I mean, it's fairly compact. He's got a couple two ofs. Is this? Oh, he's got okay, yeah. Okay, this is really interesting. So yeah, I mean, he's got two reinforcement walkers in the main. Like, that's pretty standard. There's nothing in here that's like really like out of the ordinary that you wouldn't expect to see in a Boba deck. I guess not everybody is running Traitoress in the main, but that's really it. Like, it's a tight list. I guess the one like really interesting thing is that he doesn't have spacers in the main deck. The cartel spacers, he's got them in the sideboard. We'll see. We'll see if that helps him out. It's risky, like not having any space units, but like a 2/3 in space is like not amazing. In Hippo's list, on the other hand, he's running a bit more random stuff. He's first like interesting thing, he's only on 2 3-drop Boba units, which is fine, right? I don't think it's that essential to the deck. It's like I mean, it's obviously very good, but like you'd rather have almost any other 3 drop usually. He's also on the 2 Traders main deck, and he's on instead of 3 Bosk, he's on 2 Bosk, 1 Syndicate lackeys. The lackeys can have more reach in certain circumstances. And he's also on 1 Change of Heart main deck. He's got 2 more in the sideboard, and he doesn't have any reinforcement walkers in the main, just 2 in the sideboard. I think both these players are opting to sideboard No Gonna Be Dead instead of maining it. Oh no, Vika's maining it. But yeah, he's also got Rooks in the sideboard. I don't think Vika has those. Yeah. Vika also only has 2 Steadfast Battalion. Hippo has 3. That's going to be a very important card in this matchup. So, yeah. And Vika's about to join the table. Hippo already didn't. Here is Vika, so let's go and move there. See if they'll let me take a look at their hands. All right, I guess like, well, if Hippo's not going to object, I'm just going to do it. And if he objects, then I'll go back. All right. So this is going to be a very this is a very skill intensive matchup. This Boba mirror, as all mirrors usually are. There's going to be a lot of a lot of things that come down to it, and I'm not super experienced with the Boba mirror, so anything could happen. Pull up the chat so I can see you guys. All right. So I think this is going to be closer to what we're going to want. Maybe zoom in a little bit more. We'll see once I actually draw cards. It's hard to tell. So, yeah. There we had, if you take a look at this bracket, we had 8 different Boba decks submitted. 2 of them have already moved on. One of them is going to. So it looks like over 50% of the Bobas got eliminated. Or at least will be. Only 3 moving on. And all the green ones, the 2 yellows and the red one, unfortunately did lose out. So red, it looks like Hipo will be going first. Right, let's see. I think we're going to want to zoom in a bit more. All right. Boom. So this is Hipo on the bottom, Vika on top. You can tell because Hippo's got the cartel spacers in hand. And Vika drew the steadfast. He's only on 2. It's a crucial card in this matchup. He also drew the surprise strike. That can be big in playing the steadfast game. But Vika doesn't have a good 2-drop, so he might be looking to ship this back just because of that. But it's a really good hand outside of the fact that he doesn't have a 2-drop. And it looks like he's keeping it. And it looks like he's keeping both of his ramp cards, which is really interesting. And Hipo opens with the spacer. That means that super laser does not have a target immediately. And Hipo also drew the super laser, so yeah, they may end up being able to trade into each other, but not necessarily. 7th Fleet Defender is gonna answer this spacer well. And if I get spending 3, and it's gonna be resupply. Not needing to take the risk of playing a super laser. And now Hipo has a choice. He can go for his own super laser that also doesn't necessarily have a target. But likely will because the Boba's going to flip. Or he can go for 7th Fleet. Just put more aggro out there. You really do not want to be behind in resources in this matchup, at least I think. Like, especially with that, like, with the steadfast game being a threat, you don't want to play with that. See, he goes for the super laser, so he's probably going to get his Boba out next turn. Although No Good to Me Dead targeting the super laser is a really like interesting play here. Vika unfortunately does not have the traitoress, which would be a really big steal here. Hipo does have the traitoress, but is that the Vika's thinking? That's it. Let's see, I'm gonna adjust this a bit so you can see Vika's cards better. Hippo's got the Vader. Vika does have a tough resourcing decision here. Like, I would probably put away one of the 3-cost units, but I'm not sure which. Vika's still thinking. And Vika brings out the Boba. Not trying to play weird super laser games. And it looks like Vika ended up deciding to resource his super laser, not one of the 7 fleets, which I think is probably right. He can, like, he's going to be able to flood the board here with, like, Viper, 7th fleet, or he can, I mean, it would take a bit, but he could get to, like, the ability to play Steadfast this turn. He would have to attack with Boba here, and then he could get there. All right, here's the Boba coming out. So if Steadfast does come out in Vika's end, it will be delayed. Let's see. Oh, and Vika actually was not able to get the extra resource off Boba's unit side, so he can't. He can't play both these 7 fleets. He can only play one, or he can go for the Steadfast. Or he could go for, like, no good to be dead 7th fleet. That also works. If I get, like, this Viper probe droid does give him, like, perfect hand knowledge. So he knows about the barrage. So actually, like, going for the Steadfast is not going to mean anything, assuming Hipo just plays barrage here. So he's gonna hit the Boba. I actually like that play. That makes a lot of sense. If you know barrage is coming down. Then let's see. I imagine we see No Good to Me Dead here. Okay, I thought I was gonna ECL there for a second. I was like, ECL what? I guess you could ECL Steadfast into this Boba, but, like, because of the barrage, you're gonna lose the Steadfast also, which just feels bad. So I think it's not gonna be dead to race up Boba. He's like, his other line, like, he has is to just play 7th fleet without playing No Good to Be Dead, which feels a bit pointless. Or sorry, play 7th fleet without playing No Good to Be Dead. I think that's what I said. That's what I meant. Steadfast does get the kill, yeah, but it loses itself. That's, I mean, yeah, that's, so he ends up going for the Steadfast play, which does kill the Boba. It stops the 6 damage, but it leaves him with no board state. Whereas, like, if he had gone No Good to Be Dead, and then in 7th fleet, he'd have the ship, but Boba would still be around. And I see made the calculation that, like, he'd rather be in this world. I'm not sure that's right, because you could have ECL'd Steadfast next round after the barrage wore off, and it would have stayed alive, and you would have had that body. You do have to burn your No Good to Be Dead to do it, but yeah, I don't know. Vika's not in a horrible position right now. Like, there certainly are pros to taking the line that he took. And he did clear that Boba. So that's big. And so now he can just start playing ships. And he goes for Star Viper first. Hipo has oh, Vika just passed. Interesting. like Hippo has a couple lines. He can play like one of these 5s, or he can ECL the 7th fleet, and then he only returns to 4 because of Boba, so he has to choose between 5-drop, which is either Steadfast or Bosk 7th fleet, or ECL 7th fleet, and I don't think there's an obvious right move. I am a bit concerned. I'm not sure why Vika passed there. I think it was because he was playing around Fire Spray, and he was thinking he might need to know good mate dead the Fire Spray. That's my best guess. And Vika just passed again. Okay. Was that a double pass? Oh, okay. No. He was just Hippo didn't see the pass. Okay. So yeah, so it is Hippo's action. I was like, and Hippo takes the ECL line. Makes sense. That Star Viper could seriously start impacting you if he gets a good trade onto the spacer. Vika plays 7th fleet of his own, which can get good trades, but it's not going to heal him. So both players now have used their ECL. Hippo's done more damage, which is big. Vika picked up the Fire Spray there. That's big. Like, Vika is seriously contemplating whether or not to resource here, I think. It's not obvious that you even do. Because going to 7 like puts you in the potential place of being able to play Fire Spray plus no gonna be dead. It looks like he is gonna go up to 7. That 7th fleet is not super valuable to him right now, so makes sense. Vika doesn't have anything on the ground for this Vader to hit on Hippo's side, but that, I mean, like Vader, even just Vader coming in and bringing a friend can be a big swing. I think Hippo's seriously contemplating just doing that. I think he certainly will eventually. Whether or not he passes first is a question, but I think if he passes, I think Vika just plays the Fire Spray. And it looks like he did. And here comes the Fire Spray. And Vader. And let's see what Vader can bring. Ooh, is that? Oh, no. Oh, that's nothing. Oh, that's a whiff on the Vader. That's big. Okay, I mean, just being a 5 attack guy is important, but not bringing a friend is big. Both players have like 8 damage on the board right now. Yeah, fire spray and OB to the bottom. Yeah, yeah, those are also big. You hate that feeling when you draw stuff with Vader and it's like all 3 of your barrages they go to the bottom. And you're like, well, this one's a wash. I had a game like that recently. I was playing Aiden. He was playing Boba. He had gotten to all 3 of his barrages, and then I play Vader, draw all 3 of mine from the Vader, and then they have to go to the bottom. So Vika has a couple lines here. You can attack over the 7th fleet, or you can attack base. Syndicate Lackey's main is interesting. Yeah. Yeah, he's like, instead of running 3 Bosk, he's on 2 Bosk, 1 Syndicate. Just because sometimes you'd rather have one than the other. Which I think is a good read. These 2 players are slow. There's lots of confusion because they both know how to use the pass well, but sometimes they don't get that the other person has passed. It's harder to do that online. And Vika is going to go face. He's not going to take out that 7th fleet. I believe that is 9 on Vika's, I think, because I think it's flipped. Oh, Vika just didn't realize that the Vader missed. Let's see. Waylay, no get to me dead. I mean, like, Vika's got good defensive stuff. He's gonna traitor. Hipo's gonna traitor us that 7th fleet. Do you just like traitor us it back? I mean, you might. The real question is if you play traitorous as Vika, do you take your own 7th fleet back or do you take Hipo's 7th fleet? This matters a lot. He's actually just gonna waylay, get his own 7th fleet back. Yeah, that works. That works too. Yeah, that does trigger Boba. So Boba now going up to 5. Let's see. Syndicate can ambush into steadfast, which is nice. Pick up kill on Boba after crafty. Yep. 5 attack matters. Gideon matters. Sabine. There are a couple. And Vika is trying to race here. He's like, I mean, let's see. It's close. It's gonna be close. It's like Vika has 8 on board. Hipo has technically 11, but he's not gonna get 5 of that this turn because they're not gonna be dead. And Hipo just keeps drawing like ground units that aren't really doing much at the present moment. This Star Viper is going to be really, really annoying for Vika. I think you either have to kill it or traitorous it, but traitorsing it now after it's already attacked feels bad. There's like the other move, which is like traitorous the 7th fleet and then kill it. And yeah, it looks like he's going to do that. And that feels less bad. I think you do have to kill the Star Viper though. All right, here's Bosk. I think that's wrong. I think you would rather just play Steadfast here usually. Maybe I guess like he thinks he can get an event and then knock out one of these 7th fleets, and that's there's good theory behind that. But Steadfast does have a bit more attack. Playing Steadfast actually does it presents lethal on the next turn, which is another big thing. So Vika. So both these players have right now they have lethal next round. I think Vika can hit base once with one of these 7th fleets. That puts him to 16, and then I think he can afford to kill the Star Viper. He has what, 6 and 5? It's 11. Yeah. It's tight, but I think you have to. Yeah. There's another 7th fleet. Like Hipo would have 2 actions lethal if he had played Steadfast instead of Bosk. Which like Bosk is like a more defensive play here, but he didn't even draw any events, so it doesn't really matter. And I think Vika's gonna get this one, and I think it's going to be he drew No Gonna Be Dead, so he was safe anyway. But yeah. And Hipo sees the writing on the wall. Vika takes it down. Hipo would have had a chance there if he played Steadfast, but Vika drew the No Good to Be Dead, so it didn't matter anyway. Because he would have just been able to exhaust one of those 5s. I'll show the list again. Ball out there, sideboarding. This is Hippo's. He's on like a lot more tech cards than Vika is. For instance, he's got Change of Heart main, and he's got that Syndicate Lackeys. Other than that, it's pretty standard. He does have Shoot First in the main, which has sort of fallen out of a lot of people's lists, but it's decent. He's got Reinforcement Walkers on the side and like Rooks and stuff. And Vika's is more standard, I think. He does have like a few interesting choices. Like for instance, he's not running Cartel Spacer in the main. Instead, just putting it on the side. We'll see if that comes in. I don't know if it will. Yeah. Vika does have the Shoot First in the sideboard. He has the 3rd Reinforcement Walker. He's the 3rd Traitorous. Traitorous like seems to be pretty impactful here because it can steal like those 3 drop ships, which are really annoying. Yeah, so the winner of this match is going to play Breaker. It's going to be another Boba mirror. That'll be exciting as we move into the top 8. The next top 8 game will be streamed tomorrow at about, I think they decided 11 Pacific at Sip versus Kotal. Boba versus Grand Inquisitor. I'm really excited to see this Grand Inquisitor deck. I'm going to be commentating that here on Take the Initiative. And they're actually getting started with game 2, so we're going to go here. Vika drawing all 3 surprise strikes. You love to see it. You love to see it. I don't think that is a keep, but it would be funny. Yeah. And Hippo's got a very good hand here. He's got the 2-drop Viper. I mean, it's not always the best, especially like in this matchup where people are running Cartel Spacer or Crafty Smuggler, sorry, which answers it really well. And yeah, it looks like he doesn't want to get crafty, so he's resourcing it. Nice. It turns out all the Bobas are going to take out each other in this segment of the bracket. Yep. Like seeing these other decks. Yeah, there's so many like interesting decks that people brought. Like we had a Thrawn that very nearly made top 8. And we have 2 Hans in the top 8. We have Churret. We have Grand Inquisitor. We do have a lot of Bobas, but as long as they're fighting each other. It looks like Hippo's not going to have a 2-drop this turn. Last game we saw Vika did not have a 2-drop, and he ended up winning. So make of that what you will. I think this is almost exactly the inverse of what happened last game. Where, one player plays Spacer, the other player doesn't play anything, and then the other player plays Resupply. It looks like Vika has Resupply as his ramp card as well instead of Super Laser, so he's in a bit better shape. Vika's got the Vader in hand, ready to go for when it comes time. And he's got the resupply for this turn. Oh. And there we go. Hippo takes initiative. Vika hits for 2. We're just skipping the early game. And Vika draws the Steadfast. Interestingly enough, I'm pretty sure Vika's only on 2 Steadfast and Hippo's on 3. Let me double check that. Yeah, Vika is only on 2 Steadfast. Hippo is on 3. And Vika's seen it on 5, both these games. And Hippo has not. Hippo does have the initiative here, which matters. And you've got to be playing around the Steadfast if you're Vika. So there's like a possibility that like Vika doesn't end up getting to play the Steadfast because of the pressure, but it's possibly does. Like if Vika stays the course and flips his Boba, he will be able to Steadfast because like Hippo doesn't have an answer to it. But Hippo could have an answer to it in theory, and Vika's got to be playing around that. Vika does have 1 free action here, which is to attack with Spacer. He can also pass here, and passing here is stronger than passing later, so... Yeah, like you want to see if you can bait Hippo into going below 5, or into attacking with the Boba, because you want to be able to pull off that Steadfast, which means you can't spend any resources of your own. But there's any number of things that could clear the Boba before the Steadfast can happen. Actually, I think there's mainly 2 things, and it's a Steadfast of Hippos and Surprise Strike. And so that's another thing, like, with the passing in the Steadfast game, is that, like, Vika's pass now is worse than it was the action before. Because Hippo's threat to go to the next action phase is more credible. So, like, if Vika had passed instead of attacking with the Spacer, like... Hippo would have had to give up Bobaing for this turn, and would have been more reluctant to just end the round. And then he could have spacered this round, and then Hippo doesn't have any kind of threat. And so now Vika has to find some other action to do, or he has to make a risky pass here. It's one of those things you got to be thinking about in the ECL mirror. Not just the Boba mirror, but like, if you're playing Krennic, this works. The same concept works. There aren't many other leaders that to play on 5 that use ECL. I guess if you're playing Mono Tarkin. But yeah. Anytime you have the ECL Steadfast mirror, you gotta be thinking about these things. And Is Vika just, he's hard casting the steadfast. Nice. I mean, that's very risky. And let's see. Like Hippo has the barrage here, which clears that. But it plays around Hippo having steadfast, at least. So there's that. I mean, just playing barrage here to clear the steadfast seems like a pretty good move. You could waylay it also, but ECL is still on, so you don't really want to do that. And yep, he's just going to go for it. And that is what you did not want to see as Vika. So, I mean, yeah, like, so I sort of wanted to like explain again if you're not getting at like the game that's being played here. Because if you look at these hands, like from a third person perspective, it looks like a stupid move to just play the steadfast. But because you would think you want to use ECL to play the steadfast and then kill the Boba, but you have to have your own Boba out to do that. And if we rewind a couple actions, like Hippo has 5 resources up and his ECL up, which means he could have his own steadfast. So playing the Boba just straight up could easily be walking into a trap. So you play the steadfast, like hope that that there's no barrage. Unfortunately, there is a barrage, so you lose to it. It makes a certain kind of sense to play the steadfast there, even if it ended up not turning out well. And Hippo has the surprise strike here, which is going to be able to clear this enemy Boba. Let's see. Barrage from just barrage on Spacer here clears Hippo's Boba if you want to do that. Or like No Gonna Be Dead does stuff also. But I think it's barrage. Yep, it's barrage. And now Hippo doesn't really have anything else to do. He just has to claim. Next turn, both these players are going to get to their Vaders. But it's looking good for Vika. Because, let's see. Oh, I guess, like, Waylay here. Yeah, you can play the Waylay, which saves you 4 damage. Yep, now it's going to be Vader on Vader. Pretty much. So if I go just playing as Vader proactively, you're fine doing that. Looks like the only thing you can pull is Spacer. Greedo is unfortunately not a villain, so you can't pull it. That and that. Yeah, that's the only thing you can pull. So he's both of his reinforcement walkers. Another Vader, another barrage. Get flushed down the drain there. And now Hippo hitting back. Oh shit. And let's see, and Hippo does actually hit this time. You can go. There's a choice between Spacer and Super Laser. I'm not sure which one is better. Um, yeah. The Thrawn one from yesterday was a crazy back and forth match. Looking forward to more excellent playing these matchup. Yeah, that Thrawn one was really fun. This one has been so far too. There's there's lots of decision points that you can see, and these players like are going slow enough that you can really like take the time and think about what they're doing. It's now like Hippo has a big decision point, which is like, do you attack the Vader with the ambush? And like yeah, he goes for it. Both these players have ECL up, so it's a bit risky to do that. But you have Barrage, which means you're good. Vika goes in and does 5 to the base. You're fine doing that. Like, I think he's probably going to ECL the Greedo at some point to deal with this. Ooh, now he can't do it. It's like that, it loses that. But like, you're fine, like, letting the Vader get a hit in because, like it was going to anyway, basically. Or because you're not because it was going to anyway, but because you're ahead in damage. So you're at the same difference. And then even if he has the barrage, which prevents the ECL Greedo play, like you have No Good to Me Dead as like a backup. So he's just gonna hardcast Greedo. Like ECL like could get you there. Let's see, and then a hardcast Viper. There's the really greedy play he has, which is like ECL the Viper into Greedo to prevent the Greedo from killing Vader next turn. But even that is like risky because if Greedo hits, then Vader dies anyway. They're moving up. Another Vader out of Hippo. That's big. Boba unit from Vika is also big. That with ECL can clear this Vader. If the Greedo doesn't. Sorry, do it anyway. Vika's just having second thoughts about that resource. I don't think you need to resource here. Like he's at 8. You don't need to. All right, boss gonna come in, take out that Greedo. Let's see if it hits. That could be a really big hit if it does. It does not. Okay. ECL on either Boba or Super Laser does take out this Vader. You really do not want the Vader to be sticking around for another round. But Vika, even when he does this, is going to have to suffer another Vader activation from hand. Not this turn. Hippo's spent himself out of resources, but eventually. Is it Waylay? Waylay hits the Boba. That, I mean, It's safe, but I don't think it's vital. Because you were gonna Vader it next turn anyway. But I guess like now if he just plays it back again, you can Vader it anyway. He's basically he got the 2 damage on from the Bosk, which could allow Spacer to trade with Spacer here. If I'm Vika, like I'm attacking base with the Spacer before I do anything else. Just in case Hipo wants to take that trade. Unless you're waylaying the Spacer. I guess that works. All right, and Vika ends with Vader. Or with Boba, sorry. But Vader is going to ambush it. And Vika keeps drawing a bunch of small stuff. You can't win the game with small stuff. Vika's going to need to get to his fire spray sooner or later. And there it is. Boom goes the dynamite. Let's see, and it looks like the only option here is 7th Fleet, which is, I mean, it's a solid option. You do see a fire spray in there. It's going to the bottom. Gotta be sad about that. But this Vader is going to have a big impact on the board, one that Vika cannot easily rectify. Vika he's got 2 solid 3 drops, 7th Fleet and Boba, but he's losing control. And that is going to get another resource back for Hipo. So Hipo is going to be able to play another Cartel Spacer. I think Hippo's going to get this one. I think we're going to have a game 3. I guess the key to this mirror is to not play a card on turn 1. It's not over yet for Vika. Like, if Vika draws Surprise Strike here, he's in like a pretty good position actually. Hippo's got 2 resources for something. Which is going to be no going to be dead. We're just going to take out the Spacer. So I think, yes. No. So I think now even with Surprise Strike, Hippo's not going to get there. Or Vika's not going to get there. I think he has to. So if he has. So Vika now has the choice of playing No Good to Me Dead or taking initiative. His win con really is draw Fire Spray, and then you have 3 actions to win. And so he takes the initiative there. Does he have 3 actions? He does not have 3 actions. He has 2 actions. He doesn't draw the Fire Spray anyway. And that's pretty much. Vika has. Let's see. Is he? I think that's pretty much it. he can traitorous something. Yeah, no gonna be dead the Vader. So now you're like 3 actions away from lethal. Spacer comes in, exhausts the 7th fleet. So Vika can now, I guess Vika has managed to keep himself alive. He can traitorous like one of these units. He's gonna take 7 to the face. Yeah, traitorous to 7th fleet. Nope. Waylay is going to get him back his own 7th fleet. And yeah, we get 2 there. And so then Vika or Hippo pushes 7 to base. 2 more to Boba from the boss trigger off the Waylay, right? First. And then Vika claims, Hippo does 7, and then Vika loses to any attack from any of these. I guess like Hippo does have to decide like if he Viper attacks base or attacks Boba, and I think it's base. Oh, Hippo hasn't even used his ECL yet. Yeah, that's a perfect use for it right there. To get rid of that Boba. And you do 7, should be at 23. And there's just no way that you're coming back from this. I think Barrage, yeah, even Barrage doesn't get you there. Surprise Strike can go to base, but it's not enough. Tinkerbell's dead. Hippo takes game 2. And folks, we are going to an exciting game 3. What are they saying in chat? Take a look at the list one last time before moving on. So this is Vika's. Again, it's pretty standard. I'm trying to see like what did we see that he brought in? Like he brought in the spacers. I don't know if there's anything else we saw that he brought in. A lot of the stuff is like extra copies of other things. I doubt he brought in Emperor's Legion. So like we wouldn't necessarily know like what he brought in from seeing it. On Hippo side, we definitely saw the No Good to Me Deads come in. I don't know if we saw anything else. But yeah, and here's the bracket one more time for those of you at home. You can also view the bracket and the deck list at any time in the description of the video. And here we are, game 3. And Hippo does not have a turn 1 play, which means based on the last couple of games, he might be favored. He does have 2 Vaders, which, I mean, it's a good card, but you don't want to see it this early. All right. Vika's got the crafty. He has super laser as his ramp card instead of resupply, which you don't necessarily want to have. You don't want to have to rely on it. Seeing these hands result can be only one. I wouldn't be so sure. Because Hippo is going to be able to go to 5. Vika is going to have to do super laser to play it. The steadfast game is going to be intense, even though like neither of these players have steadfast right now. Like they're still gonna have to play the steadfast game because you always have to. So now like Vika has like the option, he can go super laser and try and like put himself on 5 eventually, or he can go 7th fleet and be aggressive. I think this is like Hippo basically had this line last game, or at one point he did. I think he ended up going with the aggressive line. Maybe I can't remember, but making the choice. Maybe if he will steal SLT. Maybe, yeah. Like that's the other thing. That's the other like reason why you might not want to play Super Laser here if you're Vika, is because like Hippo's running Traitorous and you could steal it. And he does have the Traitorous right now, we see. So possibly the right move. If he needs to go to 5 this turn, he can ECL Steadfast. You do have to burn the ECL to do that, but if you need to, it's a thing that you have access to. Hippo does not have Steadfast here, which it may not end up being relevant this round. And Vika's, it looks like he's resourcing that super laser. So he will not be ramping this game, it looks like. Or nope. He's having second thoughts. Oh, he's having third thoughts. And he goes for the super laser. It's a bit rough. But it might end up paying off. Like, Hippo's hand is not necessarily geared towards aggro. Oh, no, he's just going to go ahead and do that Traitorous. That's big. Oh, wait, did Vika go back again and decide to keep the super laser? Shoot, I didn't catch that. Okay. It was crazy to see the Force Lightning take out Super Laser and Kodel's match. Yeah, Force Lightning and Super Laser is great. Alright, Vega gonna play his own 7th fleet. Boba comes out. And like Hippo's starting to take the lead. Like Vika does have like the opportunity to catch up. Vika has Barrage in hand. He has a Vader. Hippo does have 2 Vaders though. He's been holding them for a while. This is not like an amazing hand for Vika. Like he does have like, if he's worried about Steadfast, he has the option to play Barrage, which he can go like, if he goes like 3 into Boba, 1 on the shield, like and then he takes out Boba, then he doesn't have to worry about Steadfast. Obviously, like, Hippo doesn't have Steadfast, but like we were discussing earlier, like it's always one of those things you gotta be playing around. Because it can blow you out. But that's probably the play I'm making right now if I'm Vika, is Barrage. Smuggler. The answer to that is Waylay, which Hippo does have and could play. So maybe not the best move empirically, but not knowing what Hippo has, like it's a decent option. Decides to just poke the Boba for 2. I guess like then he can go Barrage 7th Fleet, and that kills it. And it's a bit safer. Like it doesn't lose as hard to Waylay. Boom. Kill him. So Vika's doing a good job of playing around the things he needs to, but he's taken a lot of damage. Like he's now 10 behind. I guess like he can catch up this turn almost completely if he goes face, but it's not looking amazing for Vika. He does have what he needs to get back into the game. So he's gonna go there. So he's gonna get to play out this Greedo if he wants. Tim Bunn, hey. Yeah, so Greedo comes down. So this Boba can die to Vader next round from Hippo. Greedo is gonna like clean that up a little bit. And Vika has his own Vader, which I mean, well, the Vader's not online yet because Vika didn't ramp. But he does have it like to do cleanup eventually. So here comes the Vader. Let's see if Hippo whiffs again. He does not. He's got actually a couple of good options here. Like any of these are good options. He goes for the 7th Fleet. There is also like an argument to go Spacer to tap Greedo, which like makes sure that your Vader lives another round, but 7th Fleet is just such a good unit that maybe it's not worth it. So yep, smash into the Boba. That Vader should not ready, right? Or that resource should not ready. Love to see you guys buying into the game. It's great. I know I'm like spending like too much money on it. Like every now and then I'll just like go on TCG Player and be like, you know, I really want to like buy more singles. And it's like, it's too much. Well, it shouldn't ready because Boba didn't leave play because Boba's a leader. I guess like it doesn't really matter that much because Hippo doesn't have anything to use it on, but oh yeah, that 7th fleet should have a shield. And yeah, like I'd say you get a rewind for that. Just trade shields. Vika playing defensively. I guess like he can go. Oh, Vika sells his ECL, yeah. So he can go ECL, take it down. Yeah, Vika's behind on damage, but he's not looking so bad. He can bring out a Vader this turn. Of course, so can Hippo. And Barrage. Clear him out. That's big. I think did that 7th fleet get no good to be deaded last round, I'm guessing? Barrage cleans up the board. So Vader can come down, and Vader can get either Boba or Crafty. I think it's Boba here. You see that other Vader, Barrage, Reinforcement Walker, and Fire Spray all going to the bottom. You feel sad. This Vader could be big for Vika. Did I think there was a cartel spacer in there that might have called Crafty, but I'm pretty sure there was another thing he could have gotten. Traitorous could be big here. Surprise strike. Let's see. So Vika needs to do 15 to win. He's got 5, 6, 7, 8. No, he's got 11. So two turn clock here for Vika. Even with Vader taking out Boba, that's still a 2-turn clock. Now that traitorous 7th Fleet Defender is finally returned to its rightful place. I think there's a real serious argument for bringing out Cartel Spacer here. Even though like Boba is very good, like Spacer exhausting the 7th Fleet changes the clock, which matters. then, yep, Vader's going to swing into Boba. So, let's see. So, Hippo's clock is 5, 6, 8. Hippo's got 11 on board, which is lethal next turn. Both these players have lethal next turn. Hippo's got the waylay. Which might save him a bit. Might actually save him totally. Let's see. Vika's opting to take it slow. So he takes off his own clock, but yeah. Generally, Boba isn't going to find any targets to attack, in which case Cartel loses 1 damage. A turn in exchange for the exhaust. A good trade. Although 5 health survives would be better. Yeah. When you waylay the 7th in this situation, yeah, I think I would, and I think like that's the thing. Like Vika's probably playing around it, because like if he could take the like attack baseline, but then like waylay beats that pretty hard. So, let's see, clock. Yeah, so Hippo is a threat to win the game next round. I think if Vika plays the surprise strike, does he? So that would be 6 now, which puts you up to 15. It does, yeah, but not through a waylay. Gotta think. I mean, like, there's really no reason not to play it. I guess unless, well, I guess the reason is if you take initiative instead, right? I don't think you attack without playing the surprise strike, but there is a serious argument to just take the initiative instead of attacking at all. Yep. All right. Ooh. I mean, those are good draws from Vika. Not as good draws from Hippo, although the no good to me dead is actually pretty impactful. So Vika having the initiative has a couple options here. He can traitor us something. He can run Greedo into one of these units and hope to hit an event off the top, clearing both these low health units. He can attack something with Vader, or he can like try and start hitting face. Like he's losing the game in 3 actions. 2 if you're worried about surprise strike, which obviously Hippo doesn't have, but he might as well. He could have it from Vika's perspective. Vika doesn't. I think Vika has a 2-turn clock at most. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No, Vika does have a threat to win the game this turn, but it takes him 1, 2, 3. He takes him 5 actions to do, and he loses the game in that time. So he has to play defensive here. All right, and he does the Greedo, and Greedo misses. So, ECL Steadfast from Hippo is a big play here. That's going to be 3 overwhelm. Traitorous keeps Vika in the game, technically. I think you have to surprise strike here. Yep. So surprise strike does 6. I like Hippo. Hippo is very close. 2 out the way. Vika has any number of answers that he could draw, but he does have to draw one. Double barrage. That's big. And he drew one of them, or 2 of them actually. Both those are outs in this situation. Bosk, boom, takes out the Greedo. Let's see if Greedo hits. If Greedo hits, that's big, actually. And he does. And that is a dead Bosk. And that might be, like, let's see. So if I get, he can attack for 3. So Steadfast comes out here. Vika's win con here is pretty much attack for 3, waylay the Steadfast, and then draw a surprise strike. He attacks there, and Boba comes down, and you have to take initiative if you're Vika and draw exactly surprise strike, and that's how you win this game. I don't think there's any other single card that does it. And does he even have surprise strikes left? I think he does. But I mean, that's what you have to draw. Anything else doesn't get you there. And Vika sees the writing on the walls. He takes the initiative. We've seen a couple games come down to this where someone draws exactly what they need to win the game. And Vika does not get it here. He's going to attack for honor's sake. But that is not enough. Congratulations, Hippo. Taking it down in the top 16. We'll move on to face Breaker in the top 8. That was a good series. Let's go and take a look at that bracket. Give it an update. Hipo going to be facing Breaker, Sip, and Kotal. Boba versus Grand Inquisitor. That'll be tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. Pacific. Tower versus Jonah Nichols and Niklas, and Dylan versus Thork have not been scheduled yet, I believe. That's Han versus Churret and Han versus Krennic. So some really interesting matchups. What are they saying in chat? No reinforcement through the matches. Felt bad on this side. And instant game winning barrages. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's the Boba mirror. You run a lot of weird cards in Boba. And sometimes they show up when you don't want them to. But that's the deck. I'll see you guys later. Oh, God, this has been longer than an hour. Thank you all for tuning in. It has been a good one. Happy Eclipse Day. And, let's see. People are saying Surprise Strike is one off. Oh, yeah, I guess I did my math wrong. All right, I'll see you guys later. Always remember to take the initiative.